Section 206 of PD 1096. Qualifications of building officials. No person shall be appointed as a building official unless he possesses the following qualifications: a Filipino citizen and of good moral character, a duly registered architect or civil engineer, a member of good standing of a duly accredited organization of his profession for not less than 2 years, has at least 5 years of diversified and professional experience in building design and construction. Section 207, Duties of a Building Official. In his respective territorial jurisdiction, the building official shall be primarily responsible for the enforcement of the provisions of this code, as well as the implementing rules and regulations issued therefore. He is the official charged with the duties of issuing building permits. In the performance of his duties, a building official may enter any building or its premises at all reasonable times to inspect and determine compliance with the requirements of this code and the terms and conditions provided for in the building permit as issued. When any building work is found to be contrary to the provisions of this code, the building official may order the work stopped and prescribe the terms and/or conditions when the work will be allowed to resume. Likewise, the building official is authorized to order the discontinuance of the occupancy or use of any building or structure or portion thereof found to be occupied or used contrary to the provisions of this code. Section 208, Fees. Every building official shall keep a permanent record and accurate account of all fees and other charges fixed and authorized by the Secretary to be collected and received under this code. Subject to existing budgetary, accounting, and auditing rules and regulations, the building official is hereby authorized to retain not more than 20% of his collection for the operating expenses of his office. The remaining 80% shall be deposited with the city of municipal treasurer and shall accrue to the general fund of the province, city, or municipality concerned. Section 209, Exemption. Public buildings and traditional indigenous family dwellings shall be exempt from payment of building permit fees. As used in this code, the term traditional indigenous family dwelling means a dwelling intended for the use and occupancy by the family of the owner only and constructed of native materials such as bamboo, nipa, logs, or lumber, the total cost of which does not exceed 15,000 pesos. Section 210, Use of Income from Fees. Any provision of law to the contrary notwithstanding, Secretary is hereby authorized to prescribe the procedures for the use of all net income realized by the office of the building official from the collection of fees and charges not exceeding 20% thereof in accordance with Section 208. Such income may be used to cover necessary operating expenses including the purchase of equipment, supplies and materials, traveling expenses, obligation expenses, and sheriff's fees, and payment of other prior year's obligations not adequately funded, subject to existing budgetary and auditing rules and regulations. Section 211, Implementing Rules and Regulations. In the implementation of the provisions of this code, the Secretary shall formulate necessary rules and regulations and adopt design and construction standards and criteria for buildings and other structures. Such standards, rules, and regulations shall take effect after their publication once a week for 3 consecutive weeks in a newspaper of general circulation. Section 212, Administrative Fines. For the violation of any of the provisions of this code or any of the rules or regulations issued thereunder, The Secretary is hereby empowered to prescribe and impose fines not exceeding 10,000 pesos. Section 213. Penal Provisions. It shall be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to erect, construct, enlarge, alter, repair, move, improve, remove, convert, demolish, equip, use, occupy, or maintain any building or structure, or cause the same to be done contrary to or in violation of any provision of this code. Any person, firm, or corporation who shall violate any of the provisions of this code and or commit any act hereby declared to be unlawful shall upon conviction be punished by a fine of not more than 20,000 pesos or by imprisonment of not more than 2 years or by both such fine and imprisonment, provided that in the case of a corporation, firm, partnership, association, the penalty shall be imposed upon its officials responsible for such violation, and in case the guilty party is an alien, he shall immediately be deported after payment of the fine and or service of his sentence.